welcome to NUSU Talks.
My name is Carter.
And I'm Ryland.
And this is the first segment of the NUSU Talks Podcast. Very exciting, very exciting. So just a little disclaimer before we get into it. What you can expect normally for the podcast is both Ryland and I will be the co-hosts, and we'll be having a lot of very fun guests that are coming on. But today, Ryland, you are the guest.
Yes, I am.
Super exciting. So Ryland is representing a student group at Nipissing University called the Women in Support Honor Alliance, also known as WISHA. So Ryland, you were the president.
Yes, I am.
Super exciting. So why don't you just begin by telling us what is WISHA?
Yes. So WISHA is a student group on campus that is really focused on women supporting one another. It was started by a different student here at the university, but this past year I've taken over as president, and our main goal is to just create a safe space for women on campus to come and foster new friendships and just have a safe space in general that they feel welcome in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think groups like that are really important to have on campus because
Absolutely.
We need that kind of diversity of places that people can go to feel welcome and supported on campus.
Absolutely.
So can you tell us just a little bit about what the structure of WISHA is, what your executive team looks like, and how you can become involved with the student group?
Yes. So this year we have 3 executive members, myself being president. I have Quinn Staines, who is our community outreach officer, and then Emily Seabrook, who is our program development officer. And together we work to try and get events out, social media campaigns and whatnot. And then, was it how to get involved in the group?
Yeah, so if you're a student on campus, how can you be involved in WISHA?
Absolutely. So last year it was more on a sign-up member basis, but come this year it's been more passive in the sense that if you show up to some of our events, if you interact with us on social media, that's really all we want. Mm-hmm. If you come to our events and you're not an official member, that doesn't matter. If you support us, then you're a part of our group and you're a part of the safe space that we try and create for women on campus.
Creates a very welcoming and you don't have to go over through steps to become involved. You can just be there.
If you want to be there, you be there, and if you don't, you don't, and that's okay.
Amazing. And I know that you have your kind of mission statement for WISHA as a pinned post on your Instagram, but can you kind of talk about what the mission and the purpose of WISHA is?
Yes. So being a student, especially women on a university campus, it can be intimidating, especially if you're not from North Bay. So the goal is to essentially just create that safe space and have resources if needed for women and students on campus. Like I said, being away from home can be really hard, and even being a student like myself who's from North Bay on campus, it was really hard for me to make new friends, especially friends that are women, and that's just because personally I find I'm a little bit shy, but I can assume that I'm not the only one struggling with this. And ultimately, the goal is to just create that safe space where you can go and meet new people without any judgment involved, and you could be as social as you want, essentially. And just create that safe space to be able to foster those friendships, because sometimes that could be intimidating.
Definitely, and it's kind of nice that WISHA is through NUSU as a student group, and NUSU is putting on countless events that you can foster those relationships. So with WISHA, say partnering with NUSU or having NUSU support in those types of things, it kind of just enhances that
Absolutely.
Probability of making connections with different people and women across campus. So that's great.
Yeah.
Now with WISHA, a big part of the student group is the events that you put on. So we are filming. Today's February 18th, I believe. So last week you had the Crafty Cupid Night, which was amazing and so fun, and you've done a lot of events in the past, but do you have any that are upcoming that you want to just kind of give a shout out to get students excited?
I do. We are actually partnering with another group, not a group associated with NUSU directly, but I'm not going to reveal too much, but we are partnering with another group to host an event, I believe on March 11th for International Women's Day, which is something that means a lot to the Women's in Sport Honor Alliance.
Yeah, definitely.
So on March 11th, we are looking to host an event here. I'm not going to reveal too much, as I said, but please keep an eye out on social media, because we're really looking forward to that event for International Women's Day.
Definitely. Keep your eyes peeled for more information, for sure. you, like I've said, put on many events, and I wanted to give 2 of them kind of a special shout out and ask you about them. I know that there's more, but these are the 2 that I feel like are really great to talk about. So the first one being that you did the Christmas gifts for the Nipissing Transition House, and you also took donations of menstrual products in collaboration with the Nipissing Hunger Collective for the Period Project. And you kind of donated them to local shelters. And events like that kind of show how WISHA is growing beyond just being a campus-driven student group, but it's actually extending to the community of North Bay. I just wanted to ask, like, what is the kind of the impact of that your group feels on yourself with events like that are so just impactful? And
so I'll give a little bit of background when it comes to the Christmas gifts for the Nipissing Transition House. For those of you who might not know, the Nipissing Transition House is a safe house for women and children that have survived and experienced domestic violence. So WISHA reached out to them, and we took a sponsor family for the holiday season, and we were able to donate a bunch of essential need products and Christmas gifts for a family that is in the Nipissing Transition House. So that was one of our biggest projects that we've taken on as a student group, and being able to see the support from community members and people that we don't even know to support another family was absolutely incredible. And knowing that we were able to provide the best Christmas that we could for another family was really it was really impacting myself in a positive manner, knowing that I was able to help someone that needed it. And then going along with the Nipissing Hunger Collective, when we did our period product drive, it was really interesting going through that process of being able to see other people's knowledge on periods and menstrual cycles that individuals go through, and how much others don't know about it, which was really interesting because we filmed a TikTok asking people questions about menstrual cycles to see what their knowledge was, and it was very vast on their answers. So it was really cool to be able to educate people on what people that get periods go through.
And I think with events like those as well, it's like behind all of the good things that are coming from it, it also is just like awareness and education behind all of it.
Which is really important.
Yeah, very important, and it's just great. So obviously WISHA is just like a beloved student group on campus. Like, it's just such positive vibes that radiate from WISHA. I love it. What specifically drew you to WISHA? Like, what made you want to become a member and then now the president of WISHA?
So I, back in second year, which I talk about that like it was a gajillion years ago, the beginning of the last academic school year, I was struggling a lot with finding my place on campus. I found that my first year was literally just getting through it, just making it to the end, but then my second year I was trying to fit in a little bit more, and I was really struggling to find my people. So when I heard about WISHA and I saw their mission on Instagram, I knew immediately this is something that I wanted to get involved with. So I messaged the student group on Instagram, and I told them that I wanted to be involved. And that's just kind of how I dove in. I just saw something that I wanted to do, and I just jumped right in. Pursued it. But for anyone else, I think, that wants to join a student group, I think I would just tell them to do it. Go for it. Shoot your shot. It is a little bit scary going through like the election process if you are going for an executive role, but the worst thing that can happen is you don't get in, and you still are able to pursue as a member of the student group, which I think is equally
only great
amazing.
Things can come.
Only great things can come from it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I just want to touch on how you were talking about how it was difficult, like, to find your place in first year. And I know you mentioned that you're like North Bay local. I feel like it's something that is important to talk about when like addressing student concerns and needs, is that coming into university, obviously this is such an exciting and like just an amazing time, and like you're growing as a person in so many ways. And there can be great days and great opportunities, but some days you do feel a little lost, and you do feel like you need that extra support. And I think it's great to have groups like WISHA that are there to address concerns like that, because it can be a lonely feeling to feel like you're kind of lost in this crazy world that we call university.
Absolutely. And I feel like if students have a place or a group where they feel like they belong to, it makes them feel a little bit less lonely because they know that they have people that are still around them.
Yeah.
So it helps them feel less alone in those dreadful times.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned that kind of WISHA is a new kind of in progress, like growing student group.
Yes.
And like there's been an amazing foundation established with what WISHA is, what your goals are, and what you like want to see happen on campus.
Yeah.
As the current president for 2026, where do you want to see WISHA grow in the future?
That's a big question. Ultimately, the goal would be to be able to get more events put out for students. But running a student group is really hard, and it takes a lot of work on top of working, being in class full time, all of the things. But I want to keep putting out quality content.
Yeah.
Even though the quantity may not be there every 2 weeks or having an event all the time, blah, blah, blah. It's about putting out those good quality events that I feel is most important, and then keeping active on our social media and pushing graphics and campaigns out through there. So I think in the future, I just want to keep working on putting out the best content that we can do, as well as keeping the events entertaining and actual activities that students are wanting to participate in.
Yeah, like you can have 1,000 events going on a week, but if you're not passionate or like feel strongly about the things you're putting on, it's not as impactful, I feel, for like the team as well as the students, because like having good quality events is really important, and it can make an impact in their students' lives. So that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Now, when we're talking about kind of the mission of WISHA and like kind of what you guys are advocating for and like addressing, I wanted to ask just kind of like a background question, like what is one challenge that women do face in higher education today?
I think there's a lot of different challenges that we face, because I feel women sometimes can be seen as lesser or not as intelligent, or we're not as good, blah, 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 all the things. But I feel like those are things that impact women in every aspect of life, not only in higher education.
Yeah.
So I think one thing that I can say for myself that I struggled with coming to university was making those friendships, which is why it was so important to me. And that's literally WISHA's mission, is to be able to help women find those friendships on campus with people who are like them.
Yeah.
So I think that's one big challenge, a big social challenge for women in higher education. But obviously that's the goal of WISHA, is to be able to help break that barrier a little bit.
And it speaks to larger issues and like having, like even just for university, but I know that your scope is bigger than that, but having groups like WISHA just kind of are many of the pieces that like are fighting against the social issue that comes from that. So I think it is really important and really impactful that Nipissing has a student group, thanks to the wonderful executives and the team that put it together.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I love it. Now, a little bit of a more fun question. So if WISHA, say, was going to have like a hypothetical gala, and you were the DJ.
Yes.
You were on aux, and you had a playlist that was titled WISHA's Playlist.
Okay.
What would be the first song that would be on your WISHA playlist, and like think of one that like kind of represents the whole point of the group?
Yeah. I think our number one song would be Who Run the World Girls.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the actual title, but the Beyonce song.
Yeah.
I remember I was at a girls' empowerment camp when I was younger, and that was our theme song for the entire week, was Who Run the World Girls by Beyonce.
Yeah.
And honestly, being a 12-year-old girl and using that song as our like empowerment song, it was the best feeling ever, because I really dove into that moment and that persona of that this is my world.
Yeah.
So I think playing that at a WISHA gala would be a hit for sure.
Beyonce just knows.
I know, she just knows.
She just knows. That's it. That's amazing. I love that. Now, kind of wrapping up our talk today, we end with what you all will get used to. It's kind of a segment that we're calling NUSU Lets You Talk.
Yes.
Because NUSU is doing a lot of talking, and we want to hear from not just us, but our guests that we have on. So basically, we're handing over the floor to you to say anything you want, talk about WISHA, just like what it means to you, or like any events you have coming up, anything you want to promote. The floor is yours.
Amazing. I think my last little message that I'll leave with everyone is that I hope that if you're feeling lonely on campus, if you're someone that is looking for a group, please come to our events, reach out. If you're struggling, you can definitely reach out and we'll help you in the best of our abilities. But give us a follow on Instagram and keep an eye out for our future events, and we hope to see everyone there.
Amazing.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. And you know what? Next time that you guys see us, Rylan,
I'll be on that side.
You'll be over here with me, and we're so excited just to start this process and this journey with you all. We're really excited about all the amazing guests that we're going to have.
We have a really great lineup coming up.
Yeah, we're very excited. We want to post. We're not on a strict schedule, but like we want to keep it pretty consistent so that you guys
that you guys have content to be listening to.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, we're super excited to get this started, and we're so excited to get this going. And thank you so much for being the first one, because now we understand the banter that is going to happen with our podcast, and now we're just going to be...
We're doing it.
Yep, we're doing it, and we're really excited.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, guys.
And we will see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.